Hi everyone, thanks for joining today's webinar. I'm Mike Oxley, I'm the National Training Manager here at Salamander Pumps, and I'm joined by Charlotte Lathan, who's our Technical Engineer Support Manager.
Evening all.
So what we're going to do today is go through our MainsBoosting products to show you there's a solution, whether it's one outlet, two outlets, a whole house, or bigger properties, and you want to pump over multiple floors at the same time. Hopefully by the end of the webinar, you'll know which product is best suited for which application. We'll take some chats at the end. So if there's any questions, please feel free to drop it in the chat box and we'll run through those after the presentation. There's also a competition to win a £50 Amazon voucher. So I'll let you know when the question comes up. Just any questions that you want, just drop it in the chat. And we'll also be recording this as well, so you can watch it on later if you need to. Okay.
Yeah.
So Salamander Pumps has a solution, like I say, to improve on your income and mains in the property, whether it's one outlet or two outlet, whether it's an inline pump or it's a stored water tank. So we'll start off in a minute with the inline pumps, and we'll move on to the stored units for the bigger properties. Just for those who don't know, there is a limit to how much you can pump directly off the mains. Charlotte, remember that?
Vaguely, yeah. Maximum 12 litres per minute due to what regulations in England.
So basically, when we launched our first product on the HomeBoost, a lot of people didn't realise you can actually pump directly off the mains. So where it's up to 12 litres per minute, we'll have pumps that'll do that, and then anything bigger, then there's a solution still on our range of products. Salamander have, like I say, been developing products for the past 5 years. I think it's just been focused on MainsBoosting solutions.
Yeah. Sort of all progressed from the HomeBoost, didn't it? HomeBoost, is it 10 years now the HomeBoost has been about?
10, 15 years, I think now, yeah. It was the first product that I had to go out and demonstrate when I first joined Salamander. Since then, everything's changed, and you find new builds or people are changing gravity-fed systems for MainsBoosting systems. So it's trying to give you guys an idea of which pump to choose. Just a little bit of information there about the market value, that it's still growing. Like I say, it's getting bigger and bigger, which is why our product range is getting bigger and bigger. And there's still a lot of people out there that don't realize there's a solution. 48% of people don't know there's a solution to improving the mains, whether it is in line or it's by storing water and pumping separately.
Yeah.
So we'll go through each in turn, but that's the range of our MainsBoosting. The TapBoost and the HomeBoost are both in line. So they're designed not to pump more than the 12 litres per minute. Then we've got storage units like the AccuBoost, which is an accumulator, and TankBoost. So TankBoost, we've just released a 5-bar variant as well, for again bigger properties. So we'll go through each in turn. Like I say, if you've got any questions about the pumps as they come on the screen, just drop that in the chats, and we'll pick those after the slides. So TapBoost is a really quick solution. It's
a baby boost.
It's a baby, yeah. So it's a quick fix. If you've got one outlet that's suffering from poor flow, you can fit that under a sink to boost the hot and the gravity-fed system. Cold, whether it's gravity-fed or mains-fed.
Yeah. I think the only thing with a TapBoost that it can't do is from an unvented cylinder.
Yeah,
I think obviously you can't pump from an unvented.
Yeah.
So, but everything else, as long as you're only looking for a certain amount, like you say up to 11 litres, then it's ideal for one.
Depending on what you've got coming in, will depend on what you get coming out. Again, there's some slides on that to show you the lift, if you like, on the incoming flow to the boosted performance. It's really quiet in operation. It's about as quiet as Charlotte, 34 decibels.
I'm very quiet, thank you very much.
Yeah. So convenience-wise, it's under a sink. It's not going to be a noisy product when it's in use. It's a wet can motor as well. So there's no shaft seal in this. It's basically a wet can motor design, which keeps the noise down. 2 years manufacturing warranty, and like I was saying there before, can fit it either hot or cold, gravity or mains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, from a service side as well, like you hardly ever see any issues with them either. They're dead simple install.
It's like fit and forget.
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. And you wouldn't fit these on every outlet. So if you've got one outlet that's suffering, for example, a gravity-fed hot with cold mains and a mixer tap in the kitchen, then sticking a TapBoost under the sink on the hot side will lift the flow coming through on the hot side. You can use two.
Yeah, I think if you're only going to use one though, what you need to remember is, like it does say in the guide, which you'll see in the slides coming, you just need to make sure if you only put one side of a mixer to make sure you've got a non-return valve on the other side, just so it works correctly. Yeah.
As well, yeah. So you could have hot and cold supplied by two TapBoosts as well.
Yeah. I think what you find a lot with them is, like, as well, when you've got quite an old property, like listed buildings sometimes, where you've got like a bathroom upstairs and the floor's poor, and you don't want to pull apart all the pipework and everything. These are dead handy.
Yeah, like
if you've got that, if you've got that natural flow there, that's perfect.
Yeah. The natural flow is 1.2 liters per minute.
Yes, it is. Yeah, for it to activate.
You need the 1.2 to activate the pump, and then you're getting anywhere between 7 and 11. TapBoost, it comes with everything in the box. So, little dinky, thank you, Sean.
There you are, Paul.
Cheers. So you get the pump in the box, and you get the charging cable as well. So it's a 12-volt DC motor with a 240-volt AC transformer. So everything in the box there, filter washers, connections as well. If you did want to extend where you actually install or where you plug the unit in, we do a 5-meter cable extension kit.
Yeah.
So you know when you've got the power source outside the bathroom, obviously, you can plug it in, and if you need to, you can add the 5. So you're getting like 9 meters worth of cable on there as well.
Yeah, I think the important thing is to make sure the transformer is actually outside of the bathroom.
Yeah, so when you're switching as well.
Yeah.
So it's all in the guide. So the zones are listed in the installation guides as well. What does it do? So if you've got your incoming flow rate there, the additional flow from TapBoost will depend on what you've got coming through naturally from your outlet. So if you're getting, for example, you're getting 4 liters a minute, you can see on that graph where it takes you up. So the more you're getting in, the less the pump's got to work, because it's only going to give you up to that 11 liters a minute. So you're not breaking water bylaws. And it activates as soon as you open the outlet, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
We do sell accessories for this as well. So obviously we sell the 22mm converter kit. So if you've got bath, if you use it on a bath, or hot on a bath, or cold on a bath, it's usually 22mm pipe work. And then obviously the fittings kit for the top, we sell them on our website. So everything that you need to install is.
Yeah, I mean, everything's in the guide that you would need to use, but at least with these kits, they all come as one, like a kit, obviously. It just means you don't have to faff about.
Like I say, it's not something that you see plumbers having a problem with installing.
No, it really isn't. We get very few calls into our tech team with regards to needing help with this as well.
Just like cutting your pipe work and then basically sizing up. We did a TapBoost time trial on the installer exhibition, just to show how easy it was to install, and that went down really well. A lot quicker than when I installed it. But it's
quicker than you, man.
It makes it so easy for, like I say, just for one outlet, maybe garden taps, things like that. You can fit this a quick fix. Like Charlotte's saying, you're not repiping, you're not using bigger products. If it's just one outlet that you're suffering poor flow from. So as Charlotte said, that's the baby boost, if you like. And then we've got HomeBoost. So HomeBoost is the product that we brought out initially for directly off the mains, the inline pump. It's an intelligent pump. So basically, the same way that the TapBoost works is that the turbine on the side will detect how fast the flow of water is coming through naturally. The faster that turbine's spinning, obviously it recognizes that flow of water. So if you've got more than 3 liters a minute,
you need 3 liters.
You need 3 liters a minute to activate it. If you've got that, then the pump will sense that you've got 3 liters a minute. It'll kick in and it'll lift the water to 12 liters per minute. If you've got more than 12 liters per minute, the pump will just wait, and then when it senses that drop in flow, it'll kick back in. So in effect, if you opened an outlet with a HomeBoost on and you're running an open outlet for a period of time and the incoming mains is fluctuating, you're still going to get at least 12 liters per minute.
Yeah, but remember, it's 12 liters a minute. It's sort of one outlet. If you've got multiple outlets open, you won't get 12 liters a minute to every outlet. Yeah, unfortunately.
Just as it leaves the pump.
Yeah.
3-year warranty, and again, we say it's a fit and forget pump because there's not a lot other than sizing your pipework in. We supply as an accessory the fittings kit as well, but it comes with a 3-pin plug and it's ready to go. So 3-amp fuse on the HomeBoost. Yeah.
Obviously, you can cut the plug off as well if you like, but it would still need to be in a fuse spur, 3-amp fuse again.
So it's ideal for small a combi boiler to lift it. You can put it under a combi boiler and lift the water up to 12 liters per minute going into your combi, so indirectly heating your hot water, even though it's a cold water pump. What about location-wise, Charlotte, for the distance from the stopcock?
So I mean, there isn't a minimum distance for it. It can basically go anywhere on your pipework, obviously to feed into whatever. The most ideal place for it is going to be directly after the stop tap.
Yeah.
But you can fit it further down your pipework. The only thing you have to remember in those cases is if you've got any outlets coming off that pipework between your stop tap and the HomeBoost, you would need to put non-return valves on any of there, because obviously if you start opening other outlets,
you're going to pull water away from it.
And what you'll find is the pump you might see issues with it hunting, like it's shunting.
It sees that movement.
Yeah, or it might lose the natural flow as well, because the natural flow is not actually hitting the pump for it to activate.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you say, the engineers, you speak to the engineers all the time, they don't have any problems fitting the HomeBoost. It's compact.
Yeah.
It's ready to go. Likewise with the HomeBoost, there's a graph here just showing during the day, you might have fluctuations in your natural flow coming in properly from the mains. So normally at the start of the day, when everyone's getting up to go to work, college, university, everyone's using showers. At night time, people shut them off and go to bed. So you get that kind of peaks and troughs all the way out through the day. What HomeBoost will do is it'll deliver that minimum 12 liters per minute. So anywhere where it's above the 12 liter a minute mark, the pump will just wait until it drops below.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got like, the only thing is if you're in like, say, like if you've got like a riser rail or a shared main or like a restricted main, you might find that obviously at peak times like that, when there is, if you're on multiple houses on a shared main, you're going to see more of that.
Yeah.
Which is
because everyone's using it and everyone's shared.
So in that case, you might want to look at like a different product in that case.
Yeah.
But obviously it would be each as you come to it. But we'll go on to what would be more suitable to that later
with the
bigger products. But yeah.
And what about like lead mains and stuff like that? It's
not really.
As long as you've got that 3 liters per minute.
Yeah, but the only thing is though with the lead main, because it is quite restrictive, and with lead and galvanized iron, you get a very, very tiny sediments and minerals into the water. So what you can find is it can damage the seal in the pump. So what you might find is it might fail. It won't last as long as it would if you weren't on if you're on like a copper main or like a.
We don't say that very often much. It's just like
it's all in the guide. Obviously, it's just a heads up.
They say in there we sell the accessory kit as the fittings kit, sorry, is an accessory, which includes your filter washer. I think that's one of the main things that you need to just check if you've got a reduced performance of the HomeBoost, to check the filters clean as a maintenance kind of thing. Other than that, once it's in, it's just doing its job, and it's gonna modulate throughout the day depending on what your income flow is.
I'd definitely say using the fittings kit's the best way to use it, like especially because if you don't use the fittings kit or you don't use the connections exactly as the fittings kit, you might not be able to fit your inlet filter.
Just to run removing it to check the filter, that makes sense.
Some other inlet filter might not fit properly if you've got it on like another sort of adapter. So that's something to be wary of. So
that's a HomeBoost. That's a 2 inline one. So we've got TapBoost and HomeBoost. It won't deliver more than 12 liters a minute because it's in line directly off the mains. But there's obviously times when you need more than 12 liters per minute. So we've got AccuBoost. So AccuBoost is an accumulator, and what you've got in effect is a water on bag situation. So you've got mains water coming in and compressing the bag, and then you're building up that pressure inside the unit to then push out once your outlets are open. You need situations where you've got more than 2 bar and the flow is over 12 liters a minute. So the HomeBoost isn't going to work. But AccuBoost is the next step
AccuBoost
forward.
as well, like for like stables, things like that, where you haven't got an electrical connection, but you've got a decent flow there. These are ideal for that sort of situation.
There's no pump on that. It's just basically pressurizing the water inside the tank. So like you say, in effect, in remote areas, if you were just going to wash down something in a garage or a stable or something like that.
Exactly, caravan, something like that. Like,
First thing in the morning, come down, the pressure's built over overnight. So in effect, it's an efficient green product as well, because you're storing water in there. So the way it differs from some accumulators is you've got a water and bag. So there's a bag inside there which is inflated and the water's compressing it. Like I say, it's stored in that unit under pressure and then it's released out. Because there's no diaphragm lifting up and down like you would do in so like a normal pressure vessel type design, there's no pinch point. So there's no if you like, no friction on the diaphragm lifting up and down, so it's less susceptible to diaphragm perforating.
Yeah, you rely on like your static pressure and your natural flow rate, and you adjust your pre-charge to whatever those settings are.
Exactly. So we send it pre-charged, but you can adjust that
to whatever your static pressure is. Yeah.
So size-wise, we do a 60 litre, 120, 180, 330 and 450. The water capacity, because you've got the bag in there, you've got 50%. So you've only got half the amount of water in there as a stored capacity of water. So you maybe just need to consider that when you're using that as how much water you want stored in the property, if you like.
Yeah. So say like if you were wanting to say, I don't know, got an unvented cylinder, you're wanting to fill from empty, and you've got only a 60 litre, you would probably want to go for like a bigger version, like the 180 or the 330. Make sure you've got enough.
330s. I mean, the way we've done it is because the unvented need the 22 litres of incoming mains into that, the flow rate. Sorry, we've split into AccuBoost unvented and AccuBoost combi. So the smaller unit, 60, 180. You're going to get between 4 and 6 litres per minute in addition to what you've got coming in. And then obviously the unvented is giving you up to 24. So that meets the criteria for an unvented cylinder as well. It comes with the upstream kit as well. So you get the upstream kit. We're putting the upstream kit in there because you're holding pressure and charge inside that vessel. And what you don't want is to go back down on the mains. That's one tank boost on the screen there, one AccuBoost fitted. If you want to link them, you can do that as well.
Yeah, we do the linking kits and that with the additional tanks, don't we?
Yeah, that's the linking kit there on the screen for you guys. So we sell all these accessories on our website as well, which you'll need. If you've got more than the 2 units, then the suggestion is in the installation guide, is rather than use the linking kit to plumb each one in separately if you've got more than the 2 in tandem. So that's the AccuBoost. Now, we kind of brought the TankBoost out whilst we had the AccuBoost in, and I think we've seen TankBoost basically be more prominent because of the potential you get from TankBoost as well.
Yeah.
The TankBoost is basically a cold water storage tank with a pump submerged inside of it. You fill it the same way as you do a cold tank. So you've got your ball valve, you're filling it, and then you fill the unit with water, and then the pump submerged inside. It's a centrifugal pump, so
very much like the RP pump.
Yeah.
So it's quiet in
centrifugal technology, quiet in operation. Yeah. So we came up with a 3-bar initially. So we had 3-bar at 80 litres a minute, and now we've just released the 5-bar, which is the 120 litres per minute. So depending on the size of the property, would depend on which size you go for. If you've got higher floors, again, we'll go through that in some of the slides.
I think it's like if you go over sort of like 3 floors, like it's more like the 5-bar, depending on how many outlets. Obviously, each property's going to be their own individual spec.
All the units, because we do in a 3-bar, we do the 100, 200, 350,
and 450.
450. All of those have on the 3-bar have a 3-bar pump in, and they all deliver up to 8 litres a minute. So I think what you see with the engineers, the question I would get is, well, can I just use the smaller, the 100 unit, because I'm still going to get 3-bar 80 litres a minute, but it's the storage of the water.
It's the storage of the water and what you're using. So it obviously depends on, a lot of things, sort of how many people live in the property for one. Are you going to be having 2 showers at the same time?
Peak demand.
Do you have a big shower head? So if you've got a 6-inch shower head, like a rainfall head, you have a 10-minute shower, you're probably looking at going to be losing about at least 25 litres a minute at that shower. So if you've got 2 showers in the property,
demand, how many showers, how many people live there, how long they're having the shower for, would stipulate how much water you're storing. And obviously getting the storage right, as in there's enough water there, but also not over-speccing, so not having more than you can use in 24 hours.
It also depends on what your natural mains flow rate is like as well, like what your replenishment rate's like to your tank.
So if you're getting a poor incoming flow,
Yeah.
and it's gonna take longer to fill the tank. You maybe have to think about a bigger tank.
So for example, like if you've say got a 200 litre, you're using it for one tap, but you've got a pressure washer on it, like a hose.
Yeah.
So that's going to be pumping out like what, 20 litres a minute.
So you've got
200 litres. You're using that for 20 minutes to hose down your garden. But in the meantime, your natural flow rate coming into that tank's only 10 litres a minute. You're going to run out of water in that case. So in that case, you might need to upsize. But
the pump has actually got a dry run protector in it as well.
Yes.
Usually, if that's happening all the time and you haven't the spec, it is really easy to link another tank as well, so you can hold more water. Again, I think we've got a slide on that as well for you. Simple installations, very quiet. We do Cat 5 variants in the TankBoost as well.
We do, yeah.
So there's not much difference, hardly any difference really, apart from the type of overflow you've got.
It's the EF gap, isn't it?
So you've got an AB air gap on the category 5 and an AF, you're right, on the standard tanks. Again, there's information about this on our website if you want to look more into Cat 5 and why you potentially would need a Cat 5 tank. We do the Cat 5 in both the 3-bar and the 5-bar, and they all come with 2-year warranty. There's no difference in how you install them, as in the inlet connection, the outlet connection sizes, everything's exactly the same. It's just the wear overflow is different than the standard overflow on the standard tank. So the 5-bar is something we've just brought out. Again, we've seen properties where they've put maybe a 3-bar in, and it's been brilliant, but then that's all we had. So we put a 5-bar out because you might have higher floors. So you're starting off with 5-bar rather than 3-bar, and because you're losing that bar every 10 meters you're going up, it's potentially going to serve you better on the top floors of bigger properties.
Yeah, another example as well, we've had a couple where they've had a 3-bar in, but where the TankBoost was actually situated, the only place to put it was a utility in like an outhouse,
right,
which was about 60 meters from the actual property, which was also down a hill. So you were losing about 2 bar before you even got to the actual property. So in that case, you would be looking at
so if you start off with more, it gives you more potential. So again, if you've got longer runs of pipe work, if you've got more outlets to be used at the same time, you're getting now 120 litres of water on there. Just between the differences, like I think that's what we're trying to explain there on the slides, but the higher outlets on the 3-bar. So if you're coming in at 3-bar, it's closed head at the unit, and then you're going up at 1 floor, 2 floor. By the time you get up the top floor, maybe it's 11 meters up, you're down from 3-bar to 1.9.
Yeah.
So add another floor to that, or add a longer bit of pipe work to that, you're going to reduce that down again. So depending on what outlets are on that top floor, how many are going to be used at the same time. The 5-bar would now start at 5-bar closed head, and then if you're going up to that top floor, now you've got 3.9.
You're still going to be getting that, yeah.
So there's differences. The flow rate, the flow chart on there as well will show you. Again, it's something that's on our socials at the minute, so we'll be pushing a lot of information out to you about the 3-bar and the 5-bar variants and why choose a 3-bar or the 5-bar over each other. Like I said, there's not a lot of difference between them. There's no difference in the way they're installed or spec'd, but yeah, a few sizes different. You've got a bigger pump on there, and the pressure vessel is a different charge on there as well. So other than that, there's not much difference between one's 3-bar, one's 5-bar, one's 80 litres a minute, one's 120.
Yeah. Like you say, the install's dead simple.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably the simplest product, I think.
For the size of it, as well.
Boost and Mains, there's 3 connections. You got your inlet, you got your outlet off the top, so 28 or 22 coming off the top. We provide the connections for the top of the tank as well. Again, there's a slide on the accessories, but you're making 3 connections. You've got your overflow pipe work. So in effect, it's the same as you would fit a cold water tank on a gravity fed system,
basically,
but there's a pump inside of it. We calibrate it. So I think one of the things we see, and I'm no different, is if you see flashing lights and pressy buttons, we calibrate the control unit. So on the top of the TankBoost, there's a control unit. So what that's doing is it's recognizing the standing pressure on the system, a bit like a negative head pump. So when you open an outlet, the pump senses the control unit and the pump sense that drop in pressure, and then obviously the pump kicks in. So if you start pressing the buttons on it, which we've had, there's no need to do that, but we do, you start shifting parameters and then you start having issues with the unit. It's there, ready to install. You're making 3 connections to it.
On the install as well, obviously, like we say, it is an easy install, but I think one of the main pitfalls that we come across is the commissioning of the unit, like when to actually connect your outlet.
Yeah, I think I've heard the tech team speaking to people where people like, it's a brilliant product. I think people are really excited.
And I can understand the frustration.
Waiting for it to fill up. The problem is, and this is what I should try to explain to tech, isn't it? So I don't think you'll be able to see this off at work. I'll try and show you. If you imagine you've got your TankBoost, the vessel, if you like, so the tank, and then this object at the minute, it's your pump. You see pump on there. This is an open outlet.
Like Blue Peter.
I know, it's very much like Blue Peter. This is your outlet connection. So at the minute it's open-ended. So the connection off the top, leave that till after you fill the unit up. So you're filling the unit up, and then once it's full, then you can basically make your connections and then you can switch it on. Because what will happen is if you make a connection off the top, and again, I don't think this is going to work on the camera, but if you start filling that and the outlet's closed on the top, the pump fills from the bottom and out the top. So what's going to happen is if I look in there, the water level on the tank's up here, but the water level on the pump's down here somewhere. Because you're trapping air in the pump, you're going to have problems with aeration issues. If I did it the same and it was open-ended, you can see that water level's dropped because it's now filled the pump. So keep the TankBoost open-ended, fill the tank with water until the pump's flooded with water, then make it connections, then switch it on. You might have a little bit of air to chase out as normal, a little bit of coughing and spluttering, but once that's
a little bit so much easier than if you connect your outlet too early. Trying to get that little bit of air out is an absolute
or just want to get the job done and you want to fill it and then you want to start piping stuff up.
It's a nightmare. And it depends on how long your lengths of pipe work are to your outlets and things like that as well, because you're going to literally have to trace that air bubble.
You know what it's like trying to chase air out of a system. It's the same as this. It's basically, like Charlotte said, it's a centrifugal pump. So we know from our RP pumps, you need a flange, because once there's in that centrifugal impeller, it's really hot to get out, and then you get cavitation, aeration issues. You're going to have the pump think there's no water inside of it. So then, because it's an intelligent unit, it's going to say, look, there's no water in, and I'm going to cut off. So it'll lock out, and it's protecting the pump from dry run. If that's happened, you either have to recommission it, fill it up again with an open end. But again, we'll try and make that as clear as we can in the commissioning and the installation guide. If you're not sure, check our socials, our Ring Tech.
Ring Tech team. We're more than happy to talk you through it before you install it.
If you've got any queries, we want you to do it right first time. Like Charlotte's saying, you might think, oh, it's quicker just to fill it up. You're stuck on site because you're trying to chase air out. That's what we want to try and avoid. Again, tank size, just a doddle to link them as well. So there's a linking point at the bottom, and you've got one pump unit, and then you've got an unpumped, an additional storage tank. So within a meter of each other, you're filling both tanks at the top, they're linked at the bottom, so the filling and the flow, the water level's dropping at the same time.
It's like you're doing a dance.
I can't not talk with my hands, but So it's really easy to link the tanks. Now, you can have one pumped unit, which is all you need. There's not a limit to how many additional tanks you use, but they've got to be certain tanks, don't they? They've got to be the same size.
Yeah, I think if you're ever doing like a spec and you sort of think, oh, I'm a bit unsure, I think I'll be fine with a 450. However, you might have spoke to tech team, you might have looked at the, the online specification tool that, you might have looked at them and thought, I'm a bit unsure, I'm borderline. Go with the 450, but make sure you've got room to add an additional tank if you need to. That's the advice I would give, and then you're not over-speccing.
Room and location is a really good point, because the 450 is a big tank, the one behind us, or the bigger tanks, 350s, 450s. The 100 and 200 are smaller in height, so what you can do is, rather than store water vertically, you can hold water horizontally.
Do that vertical again.
So you can hold water horizontally rather than vertically if you haven't got space for the height of the tank. And again, we supply the linking kit with the additional tank, because you need that to link the two tanks. The point at the bottom is also a drain off. So if you just got one tank, you can fit in the drain off point there, which is, from my perspective, it's a good idea to fit a drain off.
I think you need
part of
one,
the
especially as a
installation,
maintenance point of view. Like if you haven't got an electric supply, how are you going to empty the tank?
That's it.
If you had a power cut or something like that, or
I mean, normally you'd open an outlet, you drain the water out of the tank through a bath or something like that. But if you've got interruption in power supply and there's no power to the pump and you still need to drain the tank down, how are you going to do that without a drain off? So yeah, I'd probably, that's probably one of the top tips, if you like. We sell it as an accessory, but the same as a hot water cylinder, anything like that, having a drain off point is possibly one of the best things to have as you install. And we sell them
that they're not pre-drilled either. Like
no, we don't drill the tank because you might not use that drain off point as well. But all the brass, if you like, is molded into the plastic. So all you're doing is drilling a 20 mil hole straight through the plastic in the tank. Give that a clean out because you've got the little bits of plastic, little bits of plastic inside your tank. So give that a clean out. But yes, again, it's just one of them things to consider. We do the push fits in 28. So 1-inch 28 connection for the top.
I think that's mainly the only thing we maybe we don't push it, but we do say that best practice is to go as far in 28 as you can on your outlet. Because obviously then you're getting your optimum initial flow from the tank.
And we were talking there before about not getting water out of the tank if there's no power in pumps. If you have a power cut, how are you going to get water out? If that was the case and you live in an area where you're frequent with power cuts, what we suggest is the draw off to a potable tap before you fill in to the tank itself.
So you've always got like a separate drinking supply.
So if I need to, I can either use that outlet or bypass, just create a bypass. So if I do need to take it out for whatever reason, because there's maintenance or you're going to fit into that tank, you want to keep the customer with mains water coming through, then fit a bypass on there as well. But yeah, Dead's probably one of the simplest products out there that you can fit, install.
Yeah, I mean, how long's the wire that comes with it again? Is it like 15 meters or 10 meters? Is it the electrical wire? Sure, it's 15. Anyway, with that, we'll do that on purpose so it hasn't got a plug.
Yeah, it's done on purpose so you can cut that down.
Yeah, so you can.
If you had it like on some pump, obviously the other pumps we've got, there's a specified length of cable.
Yeah,
we've given enough cable so that you can.
It gives you a little bit of leeway to where. Yeah. Just remember to cut it down to size.
Yeah, so
and use the 5 amp fuse. Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
So 5 amp fuse for 3-bar and 10 amp fuse for the 5-bar. So everything we've went through today, if you've got any questions on the range, so we start off as Charlotte's saying with a little baby one, the TapBoost, 1 outlet, maybe it's 2 hot, cold, gravity fed or mains fed. HomeBoost is a direct inline pump to lift the water up to 12 liters per minute. Suitable for things like combi boilers, boosting the water into a combi. AccuBoost, again, it doesn't come
for
with a
remote
pump.
areas.
Yeah, there's no pump on there, there's no power to it. It's just basically storing water under pressure from the mains. And then the TankBoost, which now comes in a 3-bar and 5-bar variant.
Yeah.
We've got something there for everything, really. If you think about, like say 1 outlet, you saying before, may have just one problem. You don't need a TankBoost, you just need the TapBoost. It might have a big property like an HMO where TankBoost, a 3-bar, 5-bar is going to literally sort out those kind of performance issues when everyone's using water at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if you convert into like a block of flats, an old house into a set of flats.
Yeah.
What you can look at with a TankBoost is you could put a small one into each flat.
Yeah. And
for each individual property, because obviously it can go on. It doesn't matter if it's a shared main. It doesn't matter if it's a restricted
you're filling
main,
the tank, so you're filling the tank
like
and pumping from the tank. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. Like especially if you've got little combis in there, or even if you've got little unvented cylinders in there, they'll provide the.
I think that's one thing we do see these a lot with the TankBoost, especially. When we've been out with TankBoost on tour, as part of the summer promotion, we had a lot of people explain they went and put an unvented cylinder in, and they haven't checked the mains coming in, so they haven't got the flow needed that's required from the unvented. And then in hindsight, I think, well, how do I sort that out? That's where actually TankBoost comes in really handy.
TankBoost really does, and it is good for the unvented, but I think a misconception can be that it's going to increase the actual flow out of the unvented. It helps the flow, but the unvented controls what comes out of it. That's the only misconception.
You can't get much. You're not going to get 80 liters a minute out of every outlet.
Yeah.
But that's a whole range. like I say, we just touched on the summer promotion that we've done is now been extended to October. So we're running basically a promotion to boost your summer. So every time you buy the TankBoost, you'll get a scratch card in there, and one lucky devil is going to win a £500 holiday voucher.
Yeah, we're not allowed to though.
There's a few vouchers out there. There's 5 vouchers in total.
Oh, it's like Willy Wonka's golden ticket.
I'm just guessing. Charlotte will give you so I was just asked Charlotte for £500, but yeah, vouchers for the Boost Your Summer promotion on a scratch card, and then contact us about that. We've got competition time now. Is basically a chance to win a £50 Amazon voucher, and there's only one of those.
Sure.
The question is, if you put the answer in the chat box thing down the side, what is the maximum flow from our new 5-bar TankBoost? So if you've been listening or you've been checking our website, what's the maximum flow from our new 5-bar TankBoost? And my colleague is just going to look to see if we've got anyone answering.
We've got 11, so we've got 12 litres, 11 litres, 12 litres per minute.
Well, 5-bar TankBoost.
12 litres a minute from a HomeBoost, bit higher. Maybe that a 0 again.
Got 3 answers so far.
Is any of those the right answers, Jaden? So this is Jaden offline. Just
They're missing like a digit.
Yeah. So the maximum flow for a new 5-bar, I'll give you a clue. With 3-bar was 80 litres a minute. So what's the maximum flow from a new 5-bar? It's going to be.
Hey, Carl Simpson with 120.
Oh!
Brilliant, Carl. What we'll do, we've got your email address, so we'll get that £50 voucher. That
If
email
it's the Carl
across to you.
Simpson I'm thinking of, he knows where we bloody work.
Well done. That's just to prove the answers there as well. Now, just to finish off, that's our MainsBoosting. I think we've probably touched on a lot of things about plumbers not knowing how to get the information they need straight away. So when you're checking flow, you're checking pressure, what you're using. So if anyone's been watching our socials over the last year, especially, you've probably noticed that we've got the AquaScan tool out. So the AquaScan is a 4-in-1 multimeter. Thanks, Charlotte. So basically,
What's that magician called? Is it Paul Daniels?
I'm not going to comment. So AquaScan is a winner of, I think it's 4 or 5 awards in total, 5 awards in total. There's some of them on there as well. So it's something that we're really proud about, from the design of it to the whole launch. But basically, it's been picked up really well by installers out in the field. And what it is, it's a 4-in-1 multimeter to measure flow temperature, flow pressure, temperature, and water hardness all at the same time. So hold at the screen there. You've got all those readings on there. It's taking a live reading, so you'll know the liters per minute coming through, temperature of the water. When you isolate it, you'll get the standard pressure and you get the TDS. Really important if you're in a to know if you're in a hard water or soft water area, but also what you can do about that. So you can use this from specifying a product. So you can tell a customer you've got 6 litres a minute off the mains coming in. You can fit a HomeBoost. It's going to give you 12 litres per minute. You can check.
You could even use TapBoost, I suppose.
Yeah,
if you want to. If it was a single outlet, obviously.
Single outlet, yeah. If you've got enough high parts per million on your TDS, you might be then showing the customer this is the hardest of your water parts per million. Say 350 would be hard water, so you need a conditioner or softener. So it's a specification tool, a commissioning tool, fault finding tool, and it's just doing everything you do already, just in a more accurate way.
And it's really visual for the customer as well, so
Oh,
they
yeah.
can literally see it rather like than
Instead of having your weir cup
and they're
and your
thinking,
thermometer.
what's that contraption? Like, what is that?
It's just that investment in doing what you're doing already, but just in a more efficient and a more accurate way.
Yeah.
It'll show your live readings, it'll show your peak readings, and from that you can decide as an installer what to do with that information. So check our website, check all our socials. It's a really bit of kit that I didn't have when I was on the tools. So I was just like Charlotte said, I've got the weir cup, I've got the back in the day, yeah. But, yeah. Have a look at it and have a look at our videos online about that and some of our testimonials on that as well. Now, if there's anything you want this information on for specification, we've got a really good website. Charlotte, the tech team.
I was going to say, not just Charlotte.
Not just Charlotte. Charlotte, you basically.
Yeah, the tech team are always there to help as well, and like
Yeah.
they can, give us a call. We can go through it. There's online chat.
Yeah, online chat.
Yeah, emails if you want to drop an email.
Yeah, FAQs.
Yeah,
Hundreds of FAQs on every product.
What
so
I would
you
probably
can get the right answer.
What I would say is if you want us to help you with the specification, or when you are doing the specification, whether you're going online to do it or not, is try and get as much information out of your customer, like how many outlets are you going to be using at the same time, what size is the shower heads, how many people live in the property, because all of that sort of thing is really.
I think as well for the bigger properties as well, we've got our BDMs across the country.
Yeah, they can come and do a visit.
Site surveys. We can come out and have a look at what you've got. We can recommend products in our range. So if you're not sure, if you just want that bit of encouragement on a bigger property, perhaps that you've never worked on before, if you want our BDMs to come out and have a look at that, then by all means.
We literally want to help. Like we would rather help beforehand.
Yeah, then try and
make sure that it's all right for you. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's basically the MainsBoosting range. Like I say, we're going to do another one on the comparisons between 3-bar and 5-bar, a bit more depth, and we've got a working unit that will probably show you exactly what's happening on the screen when the TankBoost's working. So there's loads we can do. But if there's any recommendations for any suggestions, from yourselves on what webinars you want us to use to do. Yeah. Any
suggestions on stuff that you think, actually I could do with something for that to help with this?
Anything
always
like
open,
that,
we can look into it.
Let us know what webinars you want to see. Again, drop that. You can use our tech email address. You can use our, let's say, our online contact information. If you want to learn more about the AccuScan as well, there's a QR code if you can manage to take that picture of that there. But thank you very much. Really appreciate the attendance from everyone today. I know it's been a really hot day, so I really appreciate everyone trying to watch a webinar in this heat.
I know, yeah.
And Charlotte for doing it as well. Thank you.
I know. Get dragged into all these things, don't I?
Thank you very much.